Okay, this is a short introduction to the GraphQL API querying of the conduit network. What I will try show you is how it works by trying to query on this little test network here. And so we will concentrate on, you can see this splice point here, SP1010. And this cabinet here feeds, is connected to all these customers on this road here. The road called Lærgevanget. No, sorry, Lærgelunden. This is called. It's a Danish name. Okay. Um, so we'll try query some of this stuff here and get the related conduits and how they are connected and so forth. But before I do that, I will show you a little about the concepts that I used in the query in the model underneath, because otherwise it will be quite difficult to use the API, I think, if you don't understand these basic concepts. So I will show you this guy here. Here I have tried to show, like in very kind of schematic way, the different concept used and a little example um, network. So the brown stuff here, or black stuff, is the root network. You already know that one. So we have the root nodes is the big brown circles here. The root segments are going between the different nodes. Okay. So when the planner uh, the planner will place some conduits in these root nodes and root segments. And for example, they will place typical something called a multi-conduit. So this is the thing here in the middle. This is orange big thing here. This is a multi-conduit itself. And a multi-conduit is this kind of conduit that has some conduit inside. You already know that. And if you go back to the diagram here, actually I placed two multi-conduits going from this SP1010. I placed there's one with 12 inner pipes going all the way down, I think, to here, because you can get the maximum 12 inner conduit size. So I have to feed kind of more than 12 customer here. So I'll actually put two in the trends all the way down here. One of them stops here, and the last one actually continue down here, down to this, and connects all these. Okay, so just remember there's two flat. The flat line is just a name for a multi-conduit that is flat. Okay, so go back again. So this is the guy in the middle here. This is a multi-conduit. Um, then there will be some other conduits also going into the customers. These are the small one here. They will typically be orange, but can also be other colors. We call them for single conduits, meaning that they are conduit that are, they're not part of a multi-conduit. They're just, simple single one, right? Then inside the multi-conduit, we also have some conduits. They're called inner conduits, and actually they are modeled the same as the single conduits in the system. It's just another name for them. It just means it's a single conduit that's within a multi-conduit. So, okay. So this is all the colored thing here. This is the conduit themselves. But then you can imagine when you begin to kind of cut them over and connect them in the network. For example, you have, let's say this guy here is a cabinet, a feeding cabinet, and this guy here is a customer. Then they will dig down in trends and they will go down and find, for example, the red inner conduit, cut it over and connect it to the customer. To support that underneath in the system, there's a concept called conduit segments. So the black stuff here is illustrating the conduit segments. So if you put a new multi-conduit, a new conduit in the trends and do nothing with it, don't cut it any places, each of its conduits will just have one segment. But as soon as you begin to cut it, it will begin to contain several segments that spans, one or more nodes. So you can imagine here the red one here, the red conduit here that goes inside the multi-conduit. It will in the start be just one piece going from all the way down here. But when they begin to they want to connect it to this customer, they actually go down to this node here, cut it over, and connect the single conduit to it. And the single conduit might also be, cut several places actually, but normally it's not. But it can be connected with some junction along the way to the customer. So everything can be cut all places and connected all kind of places. That's just important to know these concepts, because when we begin to query, you will have to, you will see these concepts in the model. Also, um, these round dots here, we call them conduit segment junctions. And the reason they call conduit segment junction and not just conduit junction is they actually connect the segment. So you can imagine this guy here connect this segment with this. You can, maybe this pipe here will be used in another place in the network, maybe feeding it this way, and it will be cut here. So one inner conduit can actually be used many places. So that's why we need this conduit segment concept. And underneath all the graph stuff, all the graph traversal stuff, is actually built around the conduit segment. So this is the one that the system actually traverses underneath. You don't see that when you query it, but actually that's what's going on. So, okay, I hope that gives you a kind of a overview of the concept used in conduit network. I will show one last thing is in the code. We have um, we have some tests. Where can I not see them? Try click here. The test, the unit test, you can use to kind of see, also get an idea what's going on. I mean, I'm not sure if it's gonna be more confusing to look at them or not, but maybe you want some specific information about how something is queried or whatever. The unit test can be a good place to look into. There are kind of different types of unit tests. Some of them are kind of working on the more like the low level APIs, and some of them working on the GraphQL level. I will take this one, the GraphQL test, and you see here there's some of them. Come on. And here you can see, for example, there's one here trying to connect, query some customer and checking that it works and so on. So my idea was that when you begin to work with this and maybe make some changes, maybe we have to make some addition to the API, or maybe there's some specific examples of querying something we need to discuss, and some we can put them in here. I will put them in here, and then we also have the test to test them, so we're sure they always run. All these tests run on the demo network. So on the demo network, it's already there in its own schema. So, and it's very fast to run these tests. So just let you know that these are here. You can go in here and look, and you can of course look the code, also how the whole backend works if you are interested in that. Okay, so that's it for now. That's the basic concepts. I will do a video after this where I'll actually show you how to query stuff, but I will stop this video now so it will not be too long and this video recording software will crash. Okay, see you in the next video.